So this is just going to be a quick video that I had actually no intention or plan of making. It just kind of happened due to just random stuff from yesterday. So anyway, I'm sure you're all familiar with D Marble here. He's one of the better known flat earthers. Me personally, I think he's an exceptionally stupid person, basically an airhead. I'm only really familiar with his stuff but through the compilations by Ceti Alpha more than anything. I would never, he's one of these people I would never waste my time looking at his channel. Normally I don't no interest in viewing his stuff or trying to debunk him or anything like that. He falls into the same category as Mark Sargent, just a bullshit merchant. So normally I wouldn't be on his channel, but yesterday I made a comment on his channel because he had made this video here, 100% globe earth failure aimed at GreaterSapien. I follow GreaterSapien, and he's been having a little back and forth with D Marble about a recent laser test that D Marble performed, which is this here. So he did this 10-mile laser test with a blue laser, obviously claims to have debunked the globe. GreaterSapien then followed up with a video talking about beam divergence in response to D Marble contacting him and trying to goad him into a response to his test, and laughing about refraction in the comment that he made. So GreaterSapien pointed out a possible reason for his result that didn't involve refraction, and then following on from other responses, GreaterSapien also followed up with a demonstration that lasers could be affected by refraction by doing a demonstration in his backyard. So now this video, which I commented on yesterday, is D Marble's response to that.
As far as
and he thinks he's done an amazing job, and of course all the flat earthers think he's done an amazing job. Now the reason that I was going to make a short video about D Marble today was just because he's censoring comments. Now I'm sure that this won't come as a surprise to anybody that a flat earther censors and deletes comments from people that disagree with him or point out where he's wrong. I just wanted to point it out. I just wanted to make a really short video demonstrating that I had made the comments and that none of them were visible because he's removed them or unblocked. So we'll start with that. I'll show that first. Now you can see my comment here because I'm the person that posted it, so I can still see my comment. So when I realised that it wasn't showing, I then reposted it using a sock account, a really obvious sock account that I made a long time ago, which I spoke about and mentioned in the past. It's not a secret. It's a really, it's a silly sock account with a silly name, and I reposted the comment to see what would happen with that, and that has also been deleted. So we know that my original comment, according to this, was made 16 hours ago. So I'm going to sort the comments by newest first, and then just scroll right through until I find comments that were made 16 hours ago. And as we do that, you can see that there's loads of people congratulating him, patting him on the back. They're really taking it to extremes, like, oh, knockout blow, you're dancing on his grave and all this kind of stuff. They're all in there. They think this guy has done an amazing job. And every single one of these, just all these comments being loved by D Marble. Now if you look at the position of my original comment, you can see it's directly under this comment by the bloody truth, somebody else who is basically reveling this because he's feeling the butt hurt from having his ass handed to him by GreaterSapien, but that's another story. So my comment is between the bloody truth saying exceptionally well done, brother, and Flat Earth Frank, it must be very frustrating trying to prove a lie is the truth, etc. Now if I switch to the other account, which as I said has got a really silly name, it's a really obvious account, it's called My Big Hairy Scottish Sock Account. I said repost to counter censorship, posted the same comment again. Again, I can see it. This one's from 15 hours ago. And again, we'll sort this by newest first and scroll to try and find it where it should be. Now we can see the comment in relation to other comments made at the time. This one sits between Gregory Marius, you really spend time in this, Yahweh bless, and Groove and Sooth 2, they supposedly fire lasers directly at the moon 237,000 miles away. Looking at the comments under the sock account, you can see that you can still see the Bloody Truths comment, exceptionally well done, and Flat Earth Frank's comment, it must be very frustrating, etc. But my comment under Alk is gone. It should be in between the two. And if we go back to the main account, Alk, and look at the comments where the sock account comment should appear, that's gone. So there's no doubt about it. Under both of these accounts, the comment that I've left pointing out a couple of the reasons why D-Marble's video countering GreaterSapien is nonsense have been removed. This was really the only reason I was going to make just a short video about D-Marble, was to point out that he definitely does censor comments and basically point out that he's a weak intellectual coward and fascist, like so many of his cult brethren. But curiosity got the better of me. I haven't taken anything to do with D-Marble stuff. I haven't taken anything to do with this laser test. Doesn't interest me at all. I know for a fact that somebody like D-Marble won't understand what he's looking at or set it up right or whatever, so it's a waste of time, and people like GreaterSapien are already dealing with it, so what's the point of me doing it? However, everybody's talking about beam divergence and refraction. The entire point of D-Marble's video here, supposedly debunking GreaterSapien, is to essentially rule out refraction as a possibility. He's said this several times. When he made his angry response to GreaterSapien, he did this ridiculous demonstration where he pointed at his head as if it was the curvature of the earth, showing again that he doesn't have any concept of scale or geometry, talking about the laser going up over a curve and back down again. The man is clueless, but this is his entire point. He is determined that the laser light couldn't be refracted around the curve. But here's the point. I decided to look at his laser test, and I couldn't help but notice something, and I want to share it with everybody. Now, if we watch this clip, to me something stands out straight away when I'm looking at this laser light. It appears to be curved, and if you watch the further end of the laser, you can see it moving. All I've done here is taken some clips out of D-Marble's original video and then zoomed into it so we can see the laser a bit better, because he had it done in the picture-in-picture style, which means that the original video with the laser in it was a box in the corner, so I've had to zoom in just to make this fill the screen a bit more. And then I've applied some contrast to make the beam easier to spot against the background, because the camera level when they were looking at the laser was kind of lined up roughly with the horizon, which is the kind of lighter part of the overall image, which made it a little bit harder to discern. So that's all I've done. Taken a clip of his video, zoomed it in, changed the contrast so we can all see a wee bit better for ourselves. Now if we take a still image and look at that for a second, as far as I'm concerned, you can see that it is curving downward at the further end of the visible part of the beam. But finally, just to confirm that, I'm going to take the picture and rotate it around and match that up to a horizontal line. And when we do that, we can clearly see that the further part of the beam deviates away from the straight line and curves away. I'm afraid, D-Marble, that your so-called research, your so-called globe earth proof, your so-called debunk of GreaterSapien are all complete nonsense, because by firing that laser across the water and having your friend film it from his point of view, we can clearly see that the laser light is curving over the water. So everything you've said and everything you've done is nonsense. Now, I know I've got the voice for a telegraph, and my mic is kinda quiet, so I'm going to leave the last word up to D-Marble. He can sum up what just happened to him pretty nicely.
Checkmate. Checkmate. That's game. That's game. Hey, I think we got enough, man. I think we can wrap this one up.